Hi everyone, it's Jeanette here from the Sewing Studio with the Stars Quillow project again today. Now we've completed block 1 and block 2 and today we're going to be working on block 3. So I've got my little graphic here again. Just to reiterate, if you haven't seen block 2, I did say, because we did get some comments, where did I get my larger graphic from? All I did is went into the PDF that's available. I just selected the area, copied it into a blank document and then just printed it off again. And this is just easier for me as I'm sort of doing the blocks with you all, that I'm just looking at the one block rather than the whole picture of the whole quilt, which for me would be very confusing. So that's why I've done that, just to help me put the blocks together here on screen. Right, so let me pull down my trusty fabric requirements. I've got my fabric swatch page here as well. Now this is the download, it's quite a hefty one, but there's all sorts of additional information, including cutting diagrams and the swatch page. I found this really useful because I was getting confused between my 1A and my 1B fabrics. Not in any of the others for whatever reason, but those two fabrics were confusing me. So to have something that I could refer to, a visual, really helped with that for me. So hopefully you will find there's some handy information in that you'll be able to use. So I'm going to keep that up there so I can keep looking at it should I need to. I've got my block. And then I'm just going to put that under here. So this is the block 3, and you can see that as I cut, I just sort of tick things off. And I cut a few blocks at a time and just sort of tick them off and clipped them together. So for this one, we are going to need 4 6.5 by 3.5 inch pieces of fabric. Now for me, that's this gold, it's 2B, is the fabric, so it's this goldy coloured one. Then we're going to need some 4-inch squares, 2 of background and 2 of fabric 4B. So for me, that's that. And I've got my little sticky note again that I just sort of pin to the fabrics, and particularly when I've got squares that are very similar sizes, so I don't get confused. And then we need 3.5 inch squares of all the other fabrics. So that's this set here. So that's 4 of 1A and 1B, 2 background, and then 2 of 3A, and they're all 3.5 inch squares. So let's have a look at the block again, or the diagram of the block. And I'm going to start here with the 4 patch and make the centre. So for that, I can see I need my 3A fabrics, which is this lovely pink floral, and my 2 background squares, and these are all the 3.5 inch squares. So all we're going to do with that one is lay it out. So I'm pink in the top right corner and bottom left. And we're going to start just by making that 4 patch. So I am just going to pin. And now we're going to take those to the machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. Now do test the accuracy of your seam because it is important that all these pieces come together nicely. And I'm going to press towards the pattern fabric, the print. So that's our 4 patch. Now I'm going to take that to the iron and just press that. And I'm actually going to do what they call swirling the seams. And all you do to do that is just make all the seams go in one direction. And then that centre piece there should just pop open and it will lay nice and flat. So you can see there all the seams are going in the same direction. So there's our 4 patch for the centre of the block, so that's come together really quickly, so I can put that up there. Now I'm going to do the half square triangles next, so that's these 2. So it's my 4B and 2 background, and these are 4-inch squares, and we're going to do the 2 at a time method. Within this one, we're not doing anything with any speciality rulers, so if you've just got a normal ruler, you'll be able to do this. Now we're going to take those to the machine and I'm going to sew a scant 1/4 inch either side of that line, and all the scant means is slightly narrower. So instead of putting the bar directly on that line, I'm just going to put it slightly to that outside edge. Now I'm going to cut on those drawn lines, take them to the iron, press them open and then trim them, and these need to be trimmed down to 3.5 inches. So to trim, I'm just going to put that 45-degree line on the seam and just look for 3.5 inches all the way around. There we are. They're going to be for our 4 corners, so we can set those aside. And then the next thing we need to do are these units here, which are all flying geese. So for this, we're going to need our 2B fabrics and our 1As and 1Bs. Now, I think I'm going to start with my 1B. So on the back of all of these squares, we're going to draw a diagonal line. Okay, so let's grab some pins. So the fabric I want on this corner is 1B. So for me, it's this script one. And we want the angle pointing towards the centre, so going from bottom left to top right. And if you turn the diagram round, you'll see it's all in the same corner on all of them. So we're going to take those to the machine and sew with our needle just to the very outside, just touching the outside edge of that line on the bit that we're going to cut away. Now I'm just going to check that those fabrics, when I fold them back, come up and meet that corner. Yep. So I'm happy with all of those. So I'm going to take that to the iron, press them back, and then I'm going to trim that excess fabric away. So I'm just going to trim 1/4 inch away from those stitches. So now we can put the second piece on, and this time the lines are going to go up again from the bottom right to the top left, so pointing towards that centre. And we're going to repeat the same again. So that's all our units made, so we can lay it out. So the 4 patch goes into the centre, and then the star legs, and then our corners, and all the colour fabric point out. So that's how that one's going to look. So we're just going to sew it together like a giant 9 patch again. So right onto left. So we're going to take that all to the sewing machine, attach with 1/4 inch, and I'm going to take these as well and put the whole block together. So I'm just going to lay it out again just to check that I've got everything still where everything should be. So that's our block. Now on this one, I think I'm going to press the seams towards the 4 patch in the centre. I think they'll probably want to go there more than towards the flying geese units, which means that on these top and bottom rows, I'm going to press them out. So they've gone towards the half square triangle units, and this centre one, the seams have gone towards the 4 patch. There we are. So let's just attach these 2 last seams. Now I will just answer the question, in case you haven't seen the video for block 2, we had a question about why do I pin on an angle, and this one is a good example because it means that I can get my needle right up to here before I have to take that pin out. If I was pinning horizontally here, I would have to take the pin out before I got to that seam. So it helps hold that seam for a lot longer until I get there. So that's why I put pins in on a diagonal. So there we are, there's our block all done, and I just check that I'm happy with all of my points, and I am, so I'm going to give that a press. So there it is, our lovely block number 3. It's a sawtooth star, one of my favourite stars. I'm going to say that about all the stars, you know that, don't you? With a 4 patch in the centre. So I'm really pleased with how that's come out. So that came together fairly quickly. So that's block number 3. So I hope you're enjoying sewing along. I'm having a lot of fun doing these. If you want to not miss out on any of the future ones, please hit the subscribe and the bell notification. It's free to subscribe. There's no charge or anything, and you'll get notified then when we release block number 4, which will be the next one. So thank you for joining me today, and please do join me again, as I said, for block 4 here at the Sewing Studio.